This is a story that we have followed from the very beginning. We are so glad to be joined live in studio by Gabby Bow's inventor, the Gabby Goodwin, along with her mom, Rosalind Goodwin. Ladies, thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Listen, for those who are not familiar with your incredible story and journey, remind us how this business got started.
Yes, so I was, younger little girl, losing a lot of barrettes that were not made from my hair. My mom would waste a lot of time and money constantly replacing those barrettes. And so it really just boiled into a frustration. It boiled into frustration that really boiled into this idea of the Gabby Bow. So it's a patented barrette that doesn't fall out the hair, has two faces. You can see the design both ways, and then also has teeth and craters to trap the hair. You wrap the hair around the center strip.
She got the demo and everything.
Okay,
she got this down.
Clothes, and
yes.
It doesn't come out. So,
it's a cute barrette. Remind
really
us how old you were, Gabby?
I was 7 years old.
That's what I thought. I thought you were 7 years old at the time. And Rosalind, you've shared this before. Your little girl comes to you with this big dream, and as her mama, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know where to start. I hope she stops asking me about this, but she didn't. Every single day she was asking, when are we going to start working on my bows? When are my bows coming? Mommy, when are we going to make my bows? So I started with her what I thought was a science project that, maybe my wildest idea or dream is that we come up with a concept and we sell it to an existing company. No entrepreneurship in our family, so I didn't even know where to get started. But of course, that did not turn out the way that we planned, and 11 years later, we're still in business.
Yeah, I say that I feel like we're the internet aunties.
Exactly.
Grown up and this business just blossom and develop, Gabby. And you've been on national networks. You have been featured so much on a big level. Have you been able to balance all of that with school and your profession?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Not only am I obviously have been doing this business for 11 years, but I'm also very academically focused as well, and making sure that I am taking, the highest classes. Right now, I'm a senior taking 7 AP classes, so that's something that's obviously a big emphasis for me and my family. So being able to really recognize what my priorities are, getting things done one day at a time, one thing at a time, but really making sure that I also balance and put in passions that I have, and making sure that the things that I do, whether it be extracurricular, school, the business, that I have a passion behind it, and it helps me to keep going.
Listen, and I hope some of the students who are watching right now as they're preparing for the end of the year exams and everything are getting some inspiration from you. I'm also noticing a theme that's giving me goosebumps. 7 years old, 7 AP classes. 7 is the number for victory, right? Yeah. Well, I know you know because you're raised by a faith-filled mom. Listen, we're going to get to this other project that you have because you were also an author. That's a big, exciting project. But Rosalind, for a mom, you started this by wanting to teach her to reach for her dreams and to fulfill her dreams. But now you're also learning some really big life lessons. You were on CNN recently talking about the impact that the tariffs that we've heard so much about in national headlines are having on this incredibly successful small business.
Yes, for the last 8 of the 11 years that we've been in business, we've been trying to manufacture the Gabby Bow in the United States, and it's just not been feasible cost-wise. We would have had to charge $10, $15 a pack for our barrettes, and our competition is about $1 or $2 a pack. So that's just a non-starter. But we're in a position now that we had a full production run ready for our largest retail deal ever. 876 Claire stores this fall that we had to stop production for because the tariff was almost double the amount of the order.
Wow.
We started negotiations with Claire's, and our tariff was at 5.3%. Now it's at 170.3%. And we just weren't able to move forward with it.
Yeah, I want you to hold the book up because we want to get a shot of it. And it's called Naturally Me at the Confidence Salon. We're obviously going to touch on your scholarships in a moment, but I think this is so important, Gabby, because representation and little girls seeing themselves, you just cannot get enough of that, especially in today's society with social media.
Of course, that's one of the main reasons why I was really excited to be able to write this book. It's really just talking about my journey in a fictional way, being able to show a little girl who seems not as confident in herself and her beauty and her hair, and being able to meet somebody who can really really be able to uplift her and be able to show her all the beautiful things that she has inside of her that she may not see. So being able to really showcase that in a fictional form, it's really just two sides of me, younger and older, but making sure that I'm also able to really inspire whoever reads this book to really make sure that they can be themselves, they can be naturally confident, and have that have that creativity, have that passion inside of them, and they can achieve whatever they want to.
Girl, listen, my heart is so full because as I'm listening to you talk so confidently about these accomplishments, I'm thinking about how we have witnessed you grow and blossom into this beautifully, incredibly talented and accomplished young woman. And now, Rosalind, your daughter has received offers of more than $1 million in college scholarships. Isn't that what I read?
Yes, you read correct.
Wow.
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 That's what I said. God is good.
Yes, yes. So you have a whole list of colleges. I mean, I know, I think well, there they are. Look, these are the colleges. Now listen.
Send me that right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Well, I made this because I was like, maybe when Gabby sees this, she might want to make her announcement. I don't know. But what are the things that you are thinking about? And what is it that you actually want to major in and pursue?
Yeah, so I am going into business analytics, being able to put together obviously business, but then my favorite subject has always been math. So being able to really put those together and have an emphasis on analytics, numbers for small businesses and large businesses.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm really passionate about. So where I'm going, I will be studying economics and mathematics with minors in business and data science. So that's something that I'm really excited about. Obviously, the academic rigor and prowess of whatever school I applied to was a big thing for me, being able to be in a big city, having the great academics and athletics and all the things that are really around me. But I think the main thing for me was always that I always wanted to get paid to go to college. That was one of my goals. I didn't want my parents have done so much for me over these past 11 years. They've sacrificed so much, they've paid for so much, and I've worked so hard, and I wanted to work so hard to make sure that they didn't have to do so. So being able to say that I've been able to acquire full rides from half of the schools that I was accepted to is amazing, because that's the faith that I had, that's the goal that I had, and being able to go to the university that I will be announcing later tonight.
But y'all heard it first here on WIS. We're giving you the teaser.
Yes.
Listen, Gabby, I just want to say this. You know, you talk about your faith. God never provides a vision without making provision. Right. But you have also had a spirit of obedience in walking by faith to really claim all of this. And so I'm so thrilled to see that you are continuing on this business track. And I'm grateful for you all sharing your stories, too. You know, for us in the media, it gets a little frustrating trying to explain the implications of some of these controversial national stories. But when you see the impact on local businesses, and so I hope through this business career that you're pursuing that the math will start mathing, you know, regardless of the tariffs, and we'll get some of these deals back on track. But I know whatever it is, your star is going to keep rising. It's going to shine bright.
Thank you so much.
And I want to end on this note, Judy, because listening to Gabby and seeing her journey all these years, you're really walking into your purpose. For the families that are watching, and Mom, I want to hear from you too, what advice would you give young people to make sure that they're setting themselves up for success?
Yes, I think one of the main things is to really try your best at all you do. Like, you need to be able to put effort into the things that you you step forward in doing. Like, if you make a decision, make sure that you go forth with it with the best attitude, because you never know what that may get you. You never know what faith may be able to open those type of doors that you're trying to see. And obviously, just believe in yourself. Obviously, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. If you don't have that confidence in your ideas and yourself, people won't be able to subscribe to that. So make sure that you have that, and then know that no is just an abbreviation for next opportunity. I love that. Which is a quote that I've been saying all these years, but it's true. And especially going through this college decision process, like, a lot of rejection happens over your senior year, and it can either encourage you or it could diminish your confidence. So making sure that you know that even if you hear a no, even if you hear rejection, that you're still on the right track, and keep going towards that passion, that purpose that you always have.
And Rosalind, we're almost out of time, but I do want to add just one more layer for the parents and especially the mamas out there, because for moms, it's always our inclination to help, right? But part of allowing them to grow up is also knowing when to step back. Absolutely. How did you figure that out?
The resilience and the confidence that you see is because we did not shield her from rejection. So don't be afraid to let your children receive rejection or no. Encourage them to participate in competitions and things where there will be a loser. because the real world is not everyone getting a trophy.
Well, I think we didn't drop the mic.
Right.